I can't sell it. I can't sell it at all. The price is either falling or on the way to losing. There are only sellers but no buyers. It's mainly due to low market demand. The market can't absorb it at all. It's not worth the money. We fruit farmers are losing money. I never imagined that the watermelon market would crash so badly this year. Looking at over 100 greenhouses full of unsold melons, I feel completely heartbroken. It's like a knife cutting through my heart. My husband works around the clock in the greenhouses, getting up earlier than the roosters and going to bed later than the pigs. It's exhausting and painful to watch. Although China is the world's largest fruit producer, with an annual output of 300 million tons, about 12 million tons of fruit cannot be circulated commonly due to poor sales and eventually rot, resulting in economic losses of up to 56 billion. Today, we'll talk about the reasons behind China's fruit stagnation. One reason is that the Chinese people's consumption has decreased and they are hesitant to spend money, causing the price of fruits to plummet. The price of the king of fruits, durian, has been cut. Even ordinary fruits like apples have seen a sharp drop in sales. Some netizens questioned whether people would stop eating fruits. The fundamental reason for the sluggish sales of fruits in China is the problem of the CCP system. Fruit farmers are scattered from family to family and they have no power to sell. They rely on luck and are often forced to accept unfair prices. The government also imposes various harsh taxes on fruit farmers, resulting in relatively high shipping and logistics costs for fruits. I honestly never expected this. Guangxi, a province known for its fruit, is now struggling to sell its produce. Today, I visited a wholesale fruit market in Guangxi and met with a lone client who works in the fruit business. He told me that this year has been particularly tough. Compared to previous years, sales have dropped by nearly 30 to 40%. I've been thinking about a question. Sure, the market is weak, people are earning less, and consumer spending is down. But food, vegetables, meals, fruit, these are the basics of life. People still have to eat, right? So why is it that even fruits and vegetables aren't selling anymore? Across China, it's harvest season for many types of fruit, but some of them are struggling to find buyers. In many places, ripe fruit has been left to rot in the fields or thrown away, wasted for nothing. Tens of thousands of kilograms of watermelons cannot be sold, so they can only be thrown into the fish pond to feed the fish. Hello everyone, this is Shanshu Town, Jiangzhuo, also known as the melon town of the south, due to the watermelons grown here being renowned throughout the country for their sweetness and high yield. However, this year these watermelons are rotting in the fields and no one is buying them. Sister, how many of your watermelons have rotted in the fields? Tens of thousands of kilograms. When it rains too much, water enters them and they cannot be sold. How many acres of watermelon fields do you plant? Dozens of acres. How much money will you lose from this crop of watermelons? $2,800. Such a huge loss. Yes, it's 2 p.m. It's so hot I can see you busy in the orchard from a distance. Farmers have a hard time. Are these watermelons and passion fruits the future tuition for your 2 children? Meal expenses and tuition. I haven't seen such a low watermelon in more than 30 years. It's only 20 or 30 cents per pound. I take it back to feed the fish. How much can 1 acre sell for? Basically, it's a loss. At most, 1 acre can produce 1,500 to 2,000 kilograms. At most, it can be sold for $140. Yes. The watermelons on this trunk are only part of them. There are many more on the way. The bright red flesh of the watermelon spreads in the water. This is the hope of life for the family, but also the broken hope of the melon farmers. It is so heartbreaking. Why does it seem that watermelons are not selling well this year? There is no price and no sales volume. Everyone is saying that watermelons are hard to sell. I have summarized the following reasons. The first is overplanting, and due to weather factors, watermelons are put on the market simultaneously. Because of the temperature, most watermelon growing regions ended up hitting the market at roughly the same time. The temperature was abnormal at some point in the past. For example, when the temperature in Sichuan was high, the watermelons were not ripe. When the temperature was low, everyone's watermelons were ripe, and everyone wanted to sell them, so the price was bound to be low. The second reason is economic. As we are all aware, China's economy has indeed experienced a decline in recent years. Many people in the city have low incomes, so they should return to their rural hometowns to be self-sufficient and spend less. People who stay in the city also have tremendous living pressure, so they try to save unnecessary expenses. Although China has a large output of fruit, it has fallen into a dilemma of abundant production but insufficient harvest and a lack of market. Some netizens said, "China is not short of fruit, but it's short of good fruit." This is indeed the case. China lacks high-quality local varieties of fruit. At the same time, the industry is developing slowly, and the processes of product picking, sorting, and packaging are seriously outdated, resulting in a large number of low-end products. The root cause of this phenomenon is the CCP's economic system. In Western countries, land is considered personal property and can be bought and sold, making it relatively easy to establish a large group company. In China, land belongs to the state, and farmers only have the right to use it with a limited duration of use. This suggests that Chinese farmers operate as individual, small-scale natural economic models and do not possess the sales capabilities of large companies. And no CCP officials care about farmers, regarding them as a low-end population. Why are Chinese fruits unknown in the international market? First of all, while overseas markets have various intellectual property protection laws, China does not have such laws, which has led to our domestic commercial breeding being relatively backward. You should know that the fruit breeding cycle is very long, and it takes at least 10 to 13 years to cultivate a new variety. If the breeding is successful, anyone can plant it without any protection. No company can afford such breeding costs, so domestic breeding is mainly carried out by scientific research institutions and universities. When we do not have exclusive monopoly rights to varieties, it's tough to enter the international market. Most of the well-known fruit brands in the world have their exclusive monopoly rights of varieties, such as Jaichi Kiwi, Ifei apples, and the top 3 apple brands in the world. Secondly, China's orchards are scattered and lack cohesion and brand operation capabilities. Consequently, even if China's scientific research institutions cultivate new varieties themselves, they are unable to sell them at a reasonable price. Another reason why Chinese fruit farmers work hard but do not make money is that the freight and logistics costs of fruits are relatively high. The government charges various fees, including fuel taxes, road and bridge tolls, fines for highways and urban roads, market access fees, market management fees, value-added tax, corporate and personal income taxes, etc. Have you noticed that the price of lychees on fruit stalls has plummeted recently? The original cost of lychees, which was $2.50 per kilogram, has now been halved. Do you think this is a godsend? In fact, the truth behind it is a bit heartbreaking. This year, the production of lychees in Guangdong and Guangxi has tripled. The fruits are all over the mountains, and the branches are bent. The fruit farmers are both happy and worried. They are so glad about the bumper harvest, but they are afraid that they can't sell them all. Every day, they have to pick the fruits at 4 a.m. and race against typhoons and rainstorms. If they take them one day later, they may rot in the fields. What is even more worrying is that the purchase price has fallen below the cost price, and 56 cents of labor costs are required for each kilogram sold. This price plunge is actually the result of a triple blow. First, the production of lychees has increased significantly this year, resulting in severe market saturation. Secondly, oil prices have risen and transportation costs have soared. The transportation cost of lychees in the northern market is higher than the fruit price. In addition, Vietnam and Thailand have simultaneously harvested lychees, which has exacerbated the impact of imports on the domestic market. But it's a significant benefit for us foodies. Another reason why fruit farmers can't sell their fruit is that many people now buy fruit online. Blogger Xiaoju said that the pomegranates he bought online were half the price of those bought in physical stores. I finally know why the physical stores are going out of business now. Let me show you something. There are 2 boxes of pomegranates here. They are about the same size. I purchased this box during a Douyin live broadcast a few days ago. This box is about $4. This box was bought in a physical store. The packaging may be a little better. It's sold for $10, but looking at the size, they are actually about the same size. I opened 2 and tasted them. I peeled 2 separately. Can you tell the difference in appearance? Can you tell which one is more expensive and which one is cheaper? I'll let you know this is the cheap one and that is the expensive one. The cheap one is a little darker in color. Let me taste it. First, I'll taste the cheap one. It's very sweet, very sweet. I thought the inexpensive one didn't taste excellent. It's very sweet. Then I'll taste the expensive one. The expensive one also tastes sweet. The 2 tastes are basically the same, but the price is exactly twice as different and the size is also about the same. One is sold for $10 and the other is sold for $4. Can you imagine it? This is why many people now buy things online. To sell fruits at a reasonable price, some fruit farmers spray fruits with various pesticides without any regard for the bottom line. Some pesticides can extend the shelf life of fruits, and some chemicals can remove the sour taste in fruits. Many fruit farmers do not eat the fruits they harvest. This blogger reminded us that the fruits we have nowadays are often completely inedible because they are all full of additives. I am from Sichuan. In Sichuan, all the land outside our home has been leased and we grow tangerines and other crops. But what I want to say is that I have not eaten any tangerines in my hometown this year. Of course, some relatives and friends have sent me a few and I tasted them. They are very sweet, the kind that makes people feel dizzy, and they taste very unnatural. When I was a child, I also ate a lot of fruit from my grandmother's house. They were also very sweet, but most of them had a more natural flavor with a hint of sourness. But the fruits we sell now are all sweet to the point of being dizzy. Why do I say this? Because all our fruits are treated with acid-reducing agents, that is, cyclamate, and a lot of them are used. One of my relatives is a farmer who uses cyclamate and he's paid $10 a day. He said that when he used cyclamate, his hands would peel, so you can imagine how terrible it was. This blogger believes that the fruit business is already hard and it's only going to get harder. If you wanted to make money in the fruit market more than 20 years ago, you could make money as long as you sold fruit. For example, if you were selling apples, you could make money as long as you made sure that there were only apples in your basket, no pears, pumpkins, or even sweet potatoes. Because it was a seller's market at that time, sellers had a dominant advantage, so at that time, as long as you had products, you would not worry about anyone buying them, and you could make money. What about more than 10 years ago? It was not so easy to make stable money in the fruit market because buying and selling had already tended to be balanced. More than 10 years ago, if you wanted to make money in the fruit market, you had to create a brand. It was very easy to create a brand more than 10 years ago. As long as you had the heart not to deceive people, you can make a brand. Why? Because most of the merchants in the market are cheating people. What about now? Today's fruit business is a complete buyer's market, which is completely the opposite of the situation 20 years ago. It's tough to make stable profits in the fruit market at this time because the number of competitors is increasing and the number of buyers is decreasing. You need to provide more services and take on more responsibilities. More than half of the fruit farmers will be eliminated in the next few years. In recent years, more and more citrus has been planted, and there is a severe oversupply. Additionally, more people are entering this industry, resulting in lower and lower prices. Many orchards are suffering losses. When they can no longer bear it, they must give up and leave. Whether it's fruit growers or business people, many will be eliminated. There are more and more goods in the market, and the market cannot move, and the market cannot sell. The competition is fierce, and many people will become cannon fodder. For example, last year, Shenzhen, Baiguo, Yuan suffered losses and thousands of stores closed. Chongqing Hangzhou fruit industry is laying off a large number of employees, indicating that this industry is now facing significant challenges. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support and we'll see you next time.